There are a lot of great heroes in anime when it comes to saving the day from disaster, but sometimes you can't have that if a good antagonist doesn't exist. Shonen series are well known to have this symbolic feature of a hero versus villain scenario where it's fleshed out in their own unique right. Though the big question is, what makes a good antagonist in anime? Well, boys and girls, in this video right here, I'll be showcasing to you exactly what makes a proper anime antagonist, and of course, a few of my personal favorite picks in some series that you may be familiar with yourself. So, if you are liking where this video is going so far, then please do smash like, comment down below who your favorite antagonists are, and if you are new here, then why not subscribe to witness some epic future content coming along your way, just like this video that you're watching right now. So, a good villain, he needs to be more powerful and more intelligent than the hero throughout most or all of the story. But first, let's take a small step back and think about what we expect when we hear the word antagonist. The dark, the evil, the sharp, and the ruler. Oh, those are some pretty good traits, I'm not gonna lie. Forcing the main protagonist to their knees, letting the world despair before people's eyes, and taking everything they require to achieve their own selfish goals. This is what a lot of people think when they hear the word antagonist, and that is what it's all about. But, to be honest, is that really what the antagonist is about? Like, all these evil traits? I don't think so, boys. I don't think so. To be honest, there's actually a lot more to it for an anime antagonist, if you didn't know. It's not always like a bad guy. It's not always about the antagonist sitting on a throne, brainwashing his people into doing the lewd stuff that he desires. Okay, that probably came out wrong, so let me quickly just rephrase that. It's not always about the antagonist doing the evil deeds, but more so doing other things that you probably wouldn't expect to see antagonists do. A good antagonist must be a true character in the series and not a plot device where he just appears and then disappears for a long period of time to then show up suddenly without, any kind of notice to fight the protagonist. They must have some sort of a sympathetic quality and need to be threatening like any evil being, because let's be honest, if an antagonist is not threatening, then why should we be afraid of him? Let's take this for an example. One of my favorite antagonists in anime is my boy Askeladd from Vinland Saga. He's honestly one of the more well-written, complex characters that I've ever seen in anime. Few characters have this trait where they are multi-faceted, and Askeladd is one of them. He's not one of those simple characters that you can just label as good or evil. In fact, he is a murderer, a manipulator, a schemer, a strategist, and a philosopher, and a warrior, all in one, which makes him one of the best antagonists there is in anime. I'm gonna be honest that I really hated Askeladd during the start of the series, but after time went by, I realized how crazy good of an antagonist he really truly is. Askeladd is a very strategic, and even when he seems defeated, he can pull off one last trick up his sleeve that could change the outcome of a situation, even if it's a dirty play to, come out victorious in the end. His cunning wits is one of the reasons why so many of his men follow him in the first place. He becomes very skilled at realizing talent and people's nature and using them for his own benefit, just like he uses Thorfinn. So, Thorfinn is a prime example of this actually. Even though he wanted to desperately get revenge for his father, he instead stuck around with them, and slowly it felt like a one big happy family with the hero and antagonist both working together in different scenarios as each of them had their own goal to follow in the end. Imagine if Askeladd was instead a drunken Viking who keeps bullying Thorfinn as a kid after losing his father, or instead, just killed him instantly at some point. That would pretty much be disclose the whole case of Askeladd being a good antagonist. It would actually instead make him a complete ass, but thankfully it didn't actually turn out that way, so I'm quite happy. So, after looking at this prime example, what is it that makes a good antagonist? The protagonist and the antagonist working together in an almost symbiotic way, which means that they need each other and they need the conflict to know their story. The protagonist would not find a good ending without going through the hardest parts of his life in advance, and unfortunately enough, the antagonist would be able to come to his own villain story without seeing the good in everything first. And even antagonists in hentai have some pretty deep plot, and I mean pretty damn deep plot. it's like development, as a lot of things can turn out to be enjoyable. Sometimes they can even be better than anime antagonists, as they can rule over the glorious women of the land. Though, you know, we should probably save that for another day and a different story before I continue ranting about something I shouldn't be in this video, but hey, you know, a bit of culture conversations wouldn't hurt, you know, right? Another antagonist I loved watching, and I consider him to be a top tier as well, is Tahomaru from Dororo. Dororo is one of my all-time favorite series, as I simply love, you know, anime that take place in Sengoku time periods with an anime, but having the main protagonist as the hero and the antagonist of the series, the brother of the main protagonist, really does hit differently, because, you know, they are family in the first place. First of all, they are meant to be family, but of course, they have their own reasons to fight and battle out in death. Though Tahomaru may not be the main protagonist of the series, it was actually his father Daigo. It felt like Tahomaru did so much more that, in my eyes, I saw he was the main antagonist later down the line. He's a character that has, you know, a kind soul, actually, and great intentions. However, after getting twisted by the demons, his desires took over and wanted to kill his own brother. He was never inherently a bad person to begin with. I only wish he was able to interact more with his brother before, you know, the final major battle that took place in the series. He always provided the best for his people, but in the end, the demons did what they can to him and caused him to have a change of heart, and so a major battle took place between him and his brother, and to be honest, it was insane! So, ultimately, many think that if the hero is not afraid of the antagonist, then why would we viewers need to be in the first place? That causes them to believe the antagonist is bad, but that's not really the case. So, going back to Vinland Saga real quick, Thorfinn was not afraid of Askeladd or his men, since he traveled with them to get his revenge without fear, because remember that boat scene where he just screamed out of his lungs, letting everything out? Yeah, that was literally no fear whatsoever. That didn't make Askeladd a bad character. In fact, it led to them working together, which made it so much better to witness the cooperation of a hero and an antagonist together. So, alternatively, you can have a villain that is more powerful than the heroes, who can just be as threatening, but at the same time not too threatening. A villain or antagonist that strongly actually resembles this trait is, you know, a villain named Esdeath from Akame ga Kill. Esdeath is built up to be seen as the most powerful character in this series, actually. Even the leader of the heroes mentions that she wields a powerful relic, like a magic relic in the world. That relic gives Esdeath complete control over the ice element. There were even moments where she froze an attack force and stopped even a giant monsters using her powers, which looked insane, by the way. Crazy, crazy good, man. I fucking love Esdeath. One of the most powerful women in anime. We need more characters like Esdeath. These scenes carry the ridiculous power that Esdeath has, which helps to set her up, not only as a very dangerous character, but also as the iconic antagonist of Akame ga Kill. She even possesses a more cuter side of things, as she is in love with the main protagonist, which shows she's not all that evil most of the times. Take it all like this though, if she was not a threatening villain, then she would be less of an interesting character in the series, but that's just my opinion. Though, that's not to say that she's not interesting. I mean, she's kinda hot though. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people can agree with that. Yeah, because anyways, let's just move on. I've probably gone too much into talking about this, but I think we should wrap up for today's video. I've admired very few antagonists in my days of watching anime, and I'm sure you all enjoyed me talking about them in this video, as it was pretty fun making this video in the first place. I took so much research, like holy shit, but it's a banger! I know it's a banger. So, thanks you all so much for watching to the end, boys and girls, and if you did get to this point, I'd like you all to, you know, please comment down below who your favorite antagonist is, and don't forget to subscribe as well if you're new around here. And as always, I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye!